Hey everybody, it's Dick Polipnick back with another episode of Online Growth Systems. In today's episode, we are going over the 24 cognitive biases by Charlie Munger. In today's episode, we are going over number 3, incentive-caused bias. So let's dive right into what it is. So the third cognitive biases in Charlie Munger's 24 cognitive biases is called the incentive-caused bias. And the reason it's called that is because Charlie says that when you have an incentive, like bias number 1, if you don't know what that is, I'll make a thing pop up like in this corner. You can watch the first one. But when he says when you have the first cognitive bias, it influences people's decisions. So, to kind of differentiate between the two, the first one makes you want to do something. The third one that we're talking about makes people want to persuade other people towards something that would benefit them. For example, Charlie Munger uses the example of a salesman giving a pitch, or a commercial real estate broker or a realtor going through a property and talking about all of the good things and not mentioning any of the bad, even though it could be the worst buy in the world. People are going to lose money. It's going to put them in bankruptcy. It could be a totally bad deal. But the realtor still wants to sell them that property because they have the incentive bias number 1, influencing them. Right? So bias number 1 is influencing them, which means bias number 3 is influencing the customer. Does that make sense? Bias number 3 is the result of bias number 1. Very interesting. Now you guys are starting to see how these things are starting to collaborate, mash together. That's the cool thing about this YouTube channel, is we'll continue to see how they integrate with one another. So how can you apply this in your life to your advantage? Well, use it for positive. Charlie Munger mentions a lot of the negative things. He talks about a surgeon who had taken out gallbladders when he wasn't supposed to be, and he ended up killing a lot of people, and eventually it led into murder cases, and he went to trial and jail, and it was just a bad deal. But later on, he found out that he wasn't doing it on purpose to kill people. He was doing it because he had some kind of a bias towards thinking that the gallbladder needed to be taken out in everybody's case, every scenario, no matter what, even if it was going to kill him. So he heavily outweighed the cons, or the pros and the cons, so that he took it out no matter what. So I understand the comparison he was trying to make, that he had an incentive to take out organs that he wasn't supposed to be, because he had a bias towards taking out those organs. So in result, he convinced his patients to agree to the surgery. So the first cognitive bias affected him towards his dislike of that organ. The third cognitive bias affected the patients to agreeing to let him take it out. So that's the main difference. How can you use this bias in your own life, in your own business? Well, use it in the good examples. I want you to take this third cognitive bias and apply it to your customers in a positive way. Try to influence them in a way that would benefit them, either financially, whether it's through wealth, health, love, or happiness. And number 1, the best way to do that, it's like a domino effect. Best way to affect this third cognitive bias is to address the first one. So unless you have a good product that's worth pushing to people, and you have an incentive to push that product, commission of sales like we talked about in the first video, you shouldn't be pushing it if you don't have a good product. So try to find a product in your business that is healthy for people, either makes them richer, makes them healthier, happier, or have better relationships. That's why books are such a great product, because people can write a book on how to do any of those things. So depending on what business you're doing, if you want to cater to your customers' needs in something that positively affects them. So in the case that you're a business owner, make sure that your employees have an incentive to sell the good products. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know what? I know you enjoyed this video, because who doesn't like my videos, right? No, I'm just kidding. Alright, but I'm not really kidding. Man, I'm weird at the ends, aren't I? So, thanks for watching this video, and make sure that you guys smack that subscribe button like this. Man, I'm gonna delete that. That was weird. Make sure you guys, confront the subscribe button like you're, gonna be like, hey, how you doing? Then you just chloroform them. And then you subscribe.
Make sure you guys subscribe right there and watch some other videos over there. Okay? I'll see you guys.